guys, welcome to the channel. It's so good to have you here. My name is Tessie and you're on Chats with Tessie, and on this channel we discuss so many things, viral topics, my lifestyle, better outcomes for Black women and more. Grab yourself a glass of something nice. I have here in front of me water. Could be juice, it could be coffee, it could be wine, anything. Come down and sit with me and let's have a discussion. So today I have something very interesting to talk about. As you guys know, I'm engaged to my fiance. He is Polish, I am Nigerian. Yes, it is an interracial marriage, and we are having two weddings, one in the UK, one in Nigeria, which is our traditional wedding. But I wanted to talk about something super interesting, which I've noticed happening a lot online. As you guys have noticed, there seems to be a lot of radicalisation happening through, online channels like YouTube, Instagram. But I have noticed, so specifically, we have several groups rising up through, the internet, becoming radicalized. So people like Red Pill, Black Pill, blah, blah, all these fringe groups. But I've noticed specifically that luxury content seems to radicalize Black people a lot. So what do I mean by luxury content? I mean Black women in luxury. I mean, just kept wife life. I mean, stay-at-home mum stuff. And I want to specifically discuss the weird scenario of Mrs. Kept Wife. So the Kept Wife Life, the lady who's gone viral for being basically a fake. And she's been talking a lot of mess about Black women in general, calling Black women roaches, talking about how she hates ghetto people, even though she's actually ghetto. And we have discovered a whole lot of stuff about her. And I want to go into this because it's really important, because I've noticed that Black people are really radicalized by luxury content. And I just find it interesting. She talks about how Black women have to marry out to get the soft life. And she talks about how Black women are single mothers. But excuse me, madame, it is not a flex to marry a Black man with multiple convictions on his criminal record. Because it has been revealed that her husband has multiple criminal charges. This is a criminal she's married. It is not a flex to marry a Black man who is 20 or so years older than you. The same husband that she beats. Because we've discovered that her entire relationship is littered with domestic violence situations. She bangs on about how she's loved and taken care of, but you literally beat your husband, your elderly husband, by the way. You beat him to the point where police had to be called. That is a very serious issue. Me and Greg are very, very close. We would never lay hands on each other. We have an incredibly healthy relationship, right? 3 things we said that we would never tolerate: lies, cheating, violence. And she has somehow crossed all 3 of those, and yet still has the mind and the audacity to call her relationship healthy. You literally woke your partner up in the middle of the night after you came home drunk and intoxicated, and tried to force them to make you bacon and eggs. And when they didn't, you ended up in a DV situation where police had to be called. I have never thought of a situation more unhealthy and dysfunctional in my life. This woman going on talking mess about single mothers, talking about how Black women are this and that. You are literally in the worst relationship I've ever seen in my entire life. You do not know what healthy, functional relationships are, because there should be no physical violence in a healthy and functional relationship. Let's not even talk about the fact that she bangs on about travel. If you look at her TikTok, she posts the same videos over and over again of her going to this hotel or, traveling, the same trips that you took 5 years ago. Some of us have been traveling since we were children. I have my passports here. I have been traveling since I was a child. For those of us who grew up middle class, because my mum and dad, I love my mum and dad to bits, right? They had a lovely business in central London, a 4-bedroom house in London. We grew up, we traveled every single year. We would travel to Lourdes every single year, right? Every single year we would travel to Lourdes. And I don't know if you guys know how expensive it is to travel 6 people, because we are a family of 6, traveling to Lourdes every single year. Those pilgrimage packages are not cheap, right? And let's not talk about the fact that my parents put effort and money to send me over to boarding school. They paid for 2 years for me and my little sister to go to boarding school in Nigeria and then take me back to the UK and be schooled in the UK. Mrs. Kept Wife Life is one of those people who actually is what she claims to hate. She claims to hate ghetto people, but she acts ghetto. Her vocabulary is absolutely atrocious. She wears the same robe in her videos over and over again, and she talks about how she's a kept wife and she's living in luxury. Then if you're living in luxury, you should at least be able to change the color of your robes, or at least wear something different. And you definitely shouldn't be breaking and destroying your husband physically because he didn't make you bacon and eggs. Where's your education? Where's your higher education? You were literally a stripper. This was someone who was taking off their clothes to make money because they had no other options or privilege in life. And this is what I want people like Mrs. Kept Wife to understand. Black people are severely radicalized by luxury content. And many of these Black people also come from poverty. So when they see that and they manage to get into a different situation, they just completely lose their minds. But what makes me sick is that she talks so badly about Black women and single mothers, and it's just wrong. If you're living a good life, you shouldn't be talking badly about Black women. So yeah, that's what I have to say. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.